Okay, so Catherine, I'd love it if you could share your experience with us. But first of all, tell us who you are, who your children are, like what you do for a living, like a little bit about you.
Okay, yeah, so my name's Kat. I'm a mum of 2 boys, 13 and 9. A busy mum because they're into all the football and we're always run ragged. I have quite a demanding job. I'm a frontline community bobby for Humberside Police. So my shifts are quite long and demanding. The job's quite hard work at times, but I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, got a husband who works quite long hours himself as well in the hairdressing industry. So yeah, that's.
And a puppy.
Oh, and a puppy, yeah.
Throw that into the mix.
Puppy, I'll just throw that in the mix as well. He's busy, yeah, but he's lovely. Yeah, he's really good.
So tell us a little bit about what was going on in your health. What was your struggles?
Yeah, right. Well, my struggles were quite long, really. I had lots of dizziness, lightheaded, my heart palpitations, my heart used to pound on my chest. I felt tired, exhausted all the time. I could go to bed and not sleep, but I was that tired I didn't sleep, and I'd wake up tired again. Just it was a vicious circle. Really long, heavy periods lasting sort of 15 days. Shaky, blurred vision, suffering from sort of maybe a blood sugar drop and things like that. So yeah, there was just a lot going on for me. A sensation in my head that I used to get in my hand and my arm, and everything was just mixing into one, and it was just day after day. It went on for a long time, actually, probably about 4 years, 4 or 5 years with that. And
did it start with just a few symptoms and it got worse, or what was that journey like? Do you remember?
all seemed to start over a cyst that I had on my ovary, and I had it removed, and it seemed to sort of start from then onwards, really. But just a vicious circle I was in of eating probably too much sugar, because I felt like I needed a sugar fix to make me feel better. So I was in that roller coaster of vicious circle of the sugar, I would have said. And after that, I just kept going downhill. Countless visits to the doctors. Doctor kept doing my bloods. Probably had about 4 bloods a year for 4 or 5 years.
What came back on those? What come back on the bloods? Nothing.
Nothing kept coming up. They just kept saying no further action. Everything's fine. Off you go. I've had heart monitors, ECGs. Because I could always feel my heart. Nothing come back on that. They said everything was good. So
it wasn't just a quick once over at the doctors. You have kind of gone through investigations by the sounds of it.
Yeah, lots. Yeah, I've had lots of doctor's appointments, lots of chats, lots of tests, I would say.
So how did that leave you feeling? Was it like worried or frustrated or hopeless?
Oh yeah, really worried and frustrated. The thing is, then you see, with anxiety sort of kicked in, and I was worrying if something was seriously wrong with me. I thought, well, surely if something's seriously wrong, something would have happened by now. 4 or 5 years have gone by, and it did get worse, but nothing really changed. It was all the same thing. So I thought, I was always worried about my health as well, because there was always every little thing I would worry about and go back to the doctors, and they said everything was fine. So then you think, right, everything's fine, and you try and get on with it, but then you think, no, it's not fine. It was just a vicious circle, really, of feeling like that every single day.
Can I ask how old you are, if you don't mind publicly sharing that?
I don't mind. I'm trying to think. I'm 41.
Not keeping count anymore.
No, I don't count anymore for my age. No, 41.
So from about 36-ish, you started to feel like that, 36, 37?
Yes, yeah. At 35, doctors told me I was probably going through the menopause. That's what they told me as well. But I don't think I was. Well, I don't know if I was, but the blood tests, I don't think they do that now. But nothing's they've not gone, so I don't think I was. Just feel fobbed off all the time, don't you? And you just don't get anywhere.
Yeah. And so, had you tried anything other than the doctors? Had you tried any other like therapists or techniques or anything? Diets?
I did try yoga. And a bit of reflexology, and I tried to be healthy myself and try and eat well and exercise, But I think you're getting that such a lull with yourself that you feel so tired that that's overwhelming. You can't do that, you know. I couldn't do it. I felt like I couldn't do that, you know. As much as I wanted to do that exercise, I didn't really have the energy to do it really, and didn't stick with the yoga because I didn't really feel like I had the energy to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you told us all your symptoms. Tell me, like, how it affected you day to day. Is it that I don't know, you needed to keep going to bed earlier, or that you know, you didn't have any activities for yourself because you didn't have the energy? Like, how was it affecting you on a daily basis, or did it affect you at work?
I've never been one for going off sick from work, so I managed to get through work, but it was a struggle because it's demanding, and a lot of, you know, sometimes we walk miles or bike, or, you know, and you've just got to be on it, haven't you? Your customer, you know, public facing all the time.
Yeah.
That didn't really suffer, but although I didn't feel, you know, I felt brain fog, you know, couldn't recall people's names. I felt like my memory was going. But it's suffered at home. I would say it probably affected my relationship with my husband because I was moody all the time, tired all the time, so demanding him all the time to do other stuff, you know, with the boys, because I was just too exhausted to come home and even think about making the tea and going to football or to all their clubs, and didn't do anything for myself. Always just cancelled because it got to it and I thought, I can't be bothered. Yeah.
So you was kind of giving everything that you did have, that was all going to work, and then there wasn't a lot left outside of that.
And there was nothing else left really for me. So and then I just used to go to bed. Be that exhausted, I would have thought, but then I didn't sleep. I was up nearly all the night.
Oh, okay. So insomnia all night kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely.
So feeling more exhausted the next day and so on and so on.
Knock-on effect, and the dizziness was worse. And
yeah.
So
what made you think that nutrition might be able to help them?
I've always believed in your health is, you know, your health is what you eat. Your body is definitely what you eat and what you put into your body. And I've always felt that I've eaten or tried to eat quite healthy with your veg, but I think it's then missing nutrients and supplements that you need. You know, to maintain. And I knew nothing really until this class. I've learned so much, but I just thought I just thought there's nothing coming back from the doctor. You know, I've got nothing wrong with me. You know, so I've not got any worse. Nothing's happened to me. So I think time to try something else. And I'm so glad I did.
So tell me, was that like a big decision for you to decide to invest in a 12-week course? And like, did you think that this might work for you, or was you scared it wouldn't work? Like, how was your decisions around that?
Yeah, well, I've been in your free Facebook group for quite some time, probably over a year, and kept listening to sort of how you were feeling and what symptoms you had and how you felt, and you'd have that coffee and you'd feel great for a bit and you'd have that crash, and I thought, oh, this is me, and I kept, you know, dipping in and out and didn't really do anything about it. And it was just one day, I think, I don't know, I thought the time's right for me now. I think something's just kicked in for me, and I thought, no, enough's enough. I want my life back. I want to be able to enjoy my boys and do stuff with them and enjoy days out. And we had that call, and I discussed the finances with my husband and just thought, no, this is it. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. And yeah, you worry, don't you, that it's not going to work? What if it doesn't work for me? What if I can't do it? But I wouldn't look back now. I took that plunge and I've done it, and so glad I did. Wish I did it ages ago, because I feel like I've missed out on 4 years of my life, and I just wanted to cram everything in now because I feel like doing it. You know, it's nice.
Yeah. And so tell us about the journey. So you made the decision to do the course, and like, you're exhausted and you're busy, right? How do you fit in doing a course and making changes to your diet and everything else that we do? How does that work?
I think you've got to accept that you're ready and you want it. I wanted it so much. I wanted so much to feel better. you can have these sort of faddy diets, can't you, where you just keep dipping in and out, but you've got to be ready, and I think you've got to maintain it. So you've got to really think that you can do it now. And I just thought, I'm so ready to do it. I want to focus on this.
Yeah.
I think, not going to lie, I think lockdown has helped because we haven't had so many things going on.
Yeah.
I've been still working, but I think I've been able to focus on that course week by week. And the way you introduce it is just brilliant. You know, that week by week, it's slowly introducing it, and you get to grips with what you're doing in the week, and then you move on to your next thing, and you have these rest weeks to reflect on what you've done. And that's just amazing the way you do it. The changes are so slow, you don't really realise that you're doing it, but you're making massive changes really to your body.
Yeah.
And very quickly, after week 2, I started to feel alive again, just so much better. So I'll rave about it from the rooftops because I've loved it.
Oh, wonderful. Brilliant. So tell us how you feel now compared to how you felt just 12 weeks ago then.
Well, I'm sleeping. I can go to bed now and I'm sleeping so much better. I feel I've got more energy. You've helped me manage I was struggling with my blood sugars. We talked maybe about pre-diabetes. And you've helped me with that, to manage my diet, you know, eating at the right times and eating the right things to manage them blood sugars so I don't have them spikes and then low. Yeah. I've had very, very minimal dizziness in the 12 weeks that we've worked together.
Brilliant.
Once or twice where I've maybe ate the wrong thing and I've had that dizziness. So that's gone nearly, touch wood. So I'm so pleased about that. And just more energy and feel like I'm wanting to do things for myself and getting myself my own life back on track.
So good. And so, do you know, you said like only once or twice you've had the dizziness in 12 weeks. Do you feel more clued up about what suits you now? Are you able to go, oh, it was that, whereas before you just didn't really know what was causing it?
Yeah, I always thought it was my hormones causing the dizziness, but I think now it was maybe the sugar that was because I would have, say, a normal breakfast and then very soon after I would have that dizziness and that lull, and I would just I'd have to just raid the cupboards and have that chocolate, you know, that sugar rush, anything I could get my hands on to bring me back around, and then shortly after I would come back. But now I just know the things that I can and really can't eat. You know, that makes me feel well with your plans that I've done and your nice treats and things that I can have. That's stabilised me much more. You know, all the lovely breakfasts, and that's been a total change in what I eat. Really.
When you said before you used to have a normal breakfast, what's a normal breakfast before?
A bowl of cornflakes. Corn. It was muesli maybe, or bran flakes. It would just be a bowl of cereal with milk.
Yes. Yeah. And tell us about the time the porridge, what you found out about the porridge.
Oh, porridge. Porridge and bananas don't agree with me. That's what I found out. So what I always used to eat, you know, grab a banana thinking that's the healthy option. I'd have a bowl of porridge with maybe banana, apple. And I had that one morning while I was on the course and I felt dizzy for 3 days. I felt really bad. And we spoke, didn't we? And we sort of narrowed it down to the porridge.
Yeah.
Not had that since, and no, not felt that like that since then. So porridge doesn't agree with me, and maybe bananas at the moment. I've cut them out.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because like most people would think of those as healthy foods, and they are healthy foods, but they don't necessarily mean that they're right for you. And like, do you think that would have been difficult for you to work out before? If you hadn't done the course, do you think that you would have been able to work out that porridge and banana had made you feel dizzy for 3 days?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because that's what we used to do on a weekend. You know, we would make a bowl of porridge for the 4 of us and put healthy fruits in it and think that was a healthy breakfast.
Yeah.
And then I would not feel well, but I've never ever linked it to that breakfast. I just, because it was every day, I just thought this is how I feel, you know.
Yeah.
So I would never have linked it to that particular food. But yeah, it is an eye opener really of what food can do to you. and you're thinking what you're eating is healthy. And I would never ever have been able to do it on my own. Not a chance, because
food can harm or food can heal. Every mouthful is food harming or healing. So can you tell us, what about, you mentioned earlier palpitations, what's happened with these palpitations that you've been having all the time?
I honestly haven't had them. I've not had palpitations. I did cut out the caffeine, the tea and coffee. I used to have sugar in that, you see, thinking that would give me that energy and that spike, but I've not had the palpitations. In fact, because I've got an Apple Watch on, my heart rate slowed right down. It doesn't pound. I can't feel it pounding out my chest anymore, and I've just not had that.
And let's talk about, how difficult was that to cut out tea and coffee and sugar?
I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. I've done it before as well. I've done that before myself. I've cut it out, but then you go back onto it. But I think having your accountability each week and having those calls and talking to you about it, you just know that that's not right for your body. So this time it was a lot easier. I knew what else I could have, with your other options of drinks, because you give all them lovely recipes of drinks, and hot drinks and cold drinks. So I just thought, this time I've got to do it. And I did go through the headaches and that for probably 4 or 5 days, that banging headache of coming off the caffeine, but I knew I had to do it. And once I was done with that, I just know that was the right thing to do. And
so does that feel hard? Sorry to interrupt, does it feel hard now, or does it feel like you just know that that's the right thing for you, so it feels easy?
Easy. I've not missed it at all. No, not at all. They all have tea at work, and they make teas, and or I'll make it for somebody else, and I don't even fancy it. I don't want it. No, so I think I've done well with that.
So what do you have instead then? What about someone else who's watching this thinking, oh God, I don't want to cut out tea and coffee? Do you know what I said? Last night I done a training, I said often the thought of doing it is harder than the actual doing it, and it sounds like that's the case for you. But what do you have instead?
I would never have dreamt I'd be able to give that up. But instead I'm having the lovely herbal teas. I enjoy the herbal teas, or the hot lemon water, or the cacao. And they are just lovely alternatives. I don't miss the tea at all. And I did drink a lot of tea.
Okay.
I could have had 5 or 6 cups a day.
Oh, okay, significant then. And that just felt normal to you, I guess.
Yeah, that felt normal to me. That's what I started my day with, a cup of tea with the sugar in it. And
what do you start your day with now?
A lemon water and my linseeds, my magnesium, all different things.
Brilliant, so good. And so tell me, before you had this, it sounded like an underlying worry of is there, maybe it wasn't there all the time, but when you go to the doctors and you're having your test done and you're worrying, is there really a bigger problem with my health that we've not found out what it is yet? Has that gone now? Are you feeling in control and you're not worrying about your future health? How are you feeling about that?
I feel loads better about that. Probably my husband would vouch for that, because I was always asking him if I was all right. I don't feel as, I don't know how to put it, I just don't feel as vulnerable, I would say. My mind has sort of got sharper. I don't know what really has done that. Maybe it was the supplements or just the hydration, but I just feel sharper in my mind, more confident in myself, and I just know that what I'm following is healthy for me, and what I'm following is a good diet. And I just think that is just good for my health, really, that I don't need the doctors to go to the doctors, all being well, because I'm maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
And Kat was just asking me some questions about some other members of her family, actually, and I think this is a nice thing, that if other people in your family have got a problem with their health, you can't focus on everyone at the same time. But now, because you're feeling so much better, you can now start to focus on other people. Do you feel like that's the case?
Oh, absolutely. You've been fab with my son, who's got a few issues, and I feel like I can introduce him now to some of these things and get a grip of his diet, because he's struggling with 1 or 2 things, and that the advice has just been exemplary from you. It's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, so wonderful. Thank you. Tell us before we wrap up, how was it going on a call with other women, like group coaching? How did you get on with that?
Yeah, I mean, at first it didn't come easy to me at first, going on that call, showing your face and talking on that group call. But I thought, no, you've got to overcome that and go on
Yeah.
there. And those calls were brilliant, so listening to the other ladies talking to you and the advice you're giving to them. And if I wasn't on it, I always used to catch up with the call, because the advice that you're giving and you're learning lots from the other ladies. And yeah, I've made a few friends from the course as well, because they're like-minded people, and it's really nice. And actually was really sad that the course ended, really sad.
It goes quick. When you're on it, it's 3 months sounds like a long time, but when you're actually on it, do you feel like it went really quickly?
It flew by. Yeah, when you said at first 12 weeks, that's ages away. But when you're on it and you think, each Thursday come and I got my new course content to read, and I thought, gosh, it's week 12 already. Where's that time gone? And it's sad when you end it, really, and you think, that's it. But the calls were just, they were good. They were good for you, because you had that accountability of telling you what we've been doing, and that's how you can stick to it. And the other ladies are listening as well, so you want to want to have something to say.
Exactly. And it's not completely over. We've got the holistic health circle, which are going to carry on, so we're going to continue the journey. What do you think about anyone else who's like, really struggling with their health? Do you feel like most people can do this? Like, if you can do it, do you think anyone could do it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've not got the most willpower in the world. I loved chocolate, I loved my tea and coffee, I was probably addicted to sugar, and I've not had any chocolate, normal chocolate, crisps, buns and cakes. And the amount of sweet stuff that comes into our station at work is unbelievable. There's always a birthday and they're always bringing things, leftovers, and I have not had a desire to touch it, and I've not touched it. And I've kept to my plan, which has made me feel, I think if you don't feel well, you have to do something about it.
Yeah.
And somebody said to me at work, actually, when I refused a cake, is life worth living?
Oh yeah. But was it the kind of the answer for me for that is, because I remember my brother saying at one point, he went, well, everyone's got to diet, you're going to die at some point. And it's like, yeah, but I don't want to spend 40 years of the last part of my life feeling awful, which is how I would feel if I continued. And so for you, is having the constant sugar, because it is constant, and I know that kind of environment, it doesn't really feel that worth living when you feel that ill with palpitations. And I suppose they can't see that, can they?
No, they don't know that, do they? I mean, I could never really, I know, like, we reduced the alcohol, but I could never really have a drink of alcohol anyway, because I felt drunk every day. I felt that dizzy. So, life is absolutely worth living now, because I feel on top of the world some days. Most days now I feel much more energized, much more with it, much more living. And it's worth living much more than that life, because I was just in a vicious circle of feeling ill every day, and just
and I think sorry,
just plodding along.
Plodding.
Getting through the day was just a bonus.
And I think it's worth saying at this point that the program isn't strict and nothing is banned, so it's not like you will not eat cake and you will not eat sweets. It's like, well, I don't really advise it, but if you want to, if you've got a birthday, have it and see how you feel. Most women will come back in and go, I had it, and like I had a headache for 3 days, or my energy was on the floor for like a week afterwards. And so you begin to realize the connections yourself and joining the dots yourself, a bit like with the porridge, where you're like, that particular food, like, while it was nice for that 5 minutes, the knock-on effect for hours or days afterwards is not really worth it.
No, absolutely. I put my whole heart into this, because I thought, I'm paying for it, I want to feel better, the time has come for me, enough is enough. And I thought I wanted to just go with it. I'm not saying I'll never eat a cake again, because I probably will, won't I, or chocolate. But I think my mindset was quite set on what I wanted to achieve. And I've still got little bits to fill in the gaps. Some weeks I did miss a few things and missed introducing a few of the supplements, and I want to fill in the gaps. But I think if you're thinking about doing this course, if you feel like that, and it's definitely for you, because it definitely works.
Brilliant. Oh, so what would you do if you're in the station? Is that what you say? The station? I'm thinking the office. If you're in the station and all these cakes are in front of you and you don't really want it anyway, do you have something else instead?
Yeah, I was, the healthy treats, sweet treats that you provided me with, I make them. I make my energy balls, or the little coconut, I forgot what they're called.
Macaroons?
Macaroons, yeah, them. Or I'd take a smoothie. I just didn't feel like I needed it. Whereas before I could eat anything, I could eat anything really, everything and anything, because I didn't really put weight on, so that wasn't really my issue. I could eat anything, and I would eat anything. I would just go to that table and I would have the sweets, and I've had the cake and the chocolate, but for some reason I've not wanted it. To, whether that's because everything else I'm doing has maintained my energy, so I've not really wanted it really. I would have something else. I would have one of my healthy treats.
Good. It's nice to hear that you don't feel like completely isolated and you're completely out the loop. All right, you're a little bit different to everyone else, but then hey, you've got a lot more energy on the other hand because of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all feeling tired.
That's so good. It's been such a pleasure to work with you over these past 12 weeks and help you in your journey. And I think what you said there, that real mindset piece, and I talk about this a lot, about it being mindset and us stopping ourselves, but you saying like you just fully committed to it and you just decided that you really wanted to follow all of the advice and try everything and you just want to get well. That is such a big part of the puzzle. And I guess anything that we try half-hearted, we get half-hearted results from, don't we?
Yeah. And I think you can try it yourself. I tried numerous times myself to do bits, but them gaps were missing. And your advice and your knowledge is just amazing. To you can say something and you come back with whatever we need to do, and that is just key for me. That's you can't put a price on that. That is just it's really good.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience today, and we'll continue over in the Holistic Health Circle now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing.
Yeah, so I'll see you there.
Bye. Thanks, Hannah. Bye.